Hello everyone, welcome the Star Beats fan. The artist who didn't like Frank Zappa. Zappa's music covered a lot of different styles, from classical jazz to funk to psychedelic rock to new wave. To better understand him, you need to know how these different styles worked with his blunt and often shocking humor that poked fun at people's flaws. What was it about Frank Zappa that made people dislike him so much? Many artists, even though they knew how great he was talent, seemed to hold grudges against him. He was known for his biting wit and strong beliefs, which led him to criticize other people's music. He often pointed out how similar bands' music was. Melodies and how well they did in the music business. His harsh criticisms of politicians and his peers in the music industry showed that he was both an innovative artist and a strict commentator. However, his harsh criticisms did cause a rift with other musicians. While Zappa experimented with many genres, he made important contributions to rock, alternative rock, comedy, and more. Over the course of his career, Zappa released 62 albums and had an additional 50 albums released posthumously. He pushed musical boundaries by creating complex guitar riffs and combining genres in ways that were not common at the time. He became famous in the 1970s after first appearing in the mid-1960s, and he played a key role in shaping the edgy, boundary-pushing music that defines today's scene. However, the controversial and sometimes offensive nature of his lyrics led to backlash and criticism. Which musicians reacted most strongly to Frank Zappa and his music? Others really didn't like him. Lou Reed was one of those musicians. Lou Reed of the Velvet Underground was known to have a lot of anger toward Zappa. This made their relationship worse because they had very different ideas about how to make rock music, which led to many arguments. Lou Reed's first major disagreement with people in the music business is said to have started in 1966, when the Velvet Underground played in Los Angeles, which was Zappa's territory as a member of Andy Warhol's art collective. Zappa is said to have made a sarcastic comment about the band and their circle of factory stars, and word of this spread through the underground music scene. The tension grew because both bands were signed to MGM, but Zappa was a competing alternative. As usual, the act was getting a lot more attention. How bad was their fight? Reed didn't take this lying down and responded angrily. It was said that Reed said Frank Zappa was the worst musician he had ever heard, saying that he couldn't play rock and roll because he was a loser. Sterling Morrison, guitarist for the Velvet Underground, said that if you told Frank Zappa to eat in public, he would if it meant selling records. It was strange that both artists didn't like the Beatles, but could this common ground help them get along? Reed once said, "I have no respect for those people at all," while Zappa said, "People thought the Beatles were God, that's not right." Did their shared dislike lead to a reconciliation? In the end, Reed inducted Zappa into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But did their relationship ever fully heal, or did their feud end? Impressions that last.